Dear students, so today I am going to take another part, that is another concept related to an organizing chapter. So in the last class we are discussing that is related to an organization structure and the meaning of two organization structures are there. The one is functional structure and the next one is divisional structure. So we are discussed completely related to a functional structure and divisional structure. Then now the next is that is a type of organization. That is, in an organization we can see the formal organization and informal organization. So first comes that is what is formal organization. So here an organization is said to formal when the structure is so designed and established to achieve systematic working and efficient utilizations of resources. Means here according to one structure or according to the framework, whatever the works are going to be carried out, so that is called as a formal organization. The best example, so in the last class we have discussed that is functional structure and divisional structure. So I am going to be taken the functional structure now to explain the formal organization, that is executives, leaders, workers. So here, so in the same way, here a finance department, HR department, so marketing department. So this is just an example. So here a formal organization means here in an organization that is a MD, that is a coordinator comes first, next the next one the managing director, the next executives, the next the leaders, then the next is the workers. So here it is a framework framed by a particular organization. So according to a framework, what are the works are going to be carried out, or according to the designed pattern. So here they are going to be definedly suggest or definedly says about the what the works are has to be carried out in an organization. So that's why it is called as a official system, which were the formal organization. Define activities, job descriptions, rules, procedures and relationship which are intended to divide it and integrate the activities of an organization. So here not only about the job or not only about the works, so it also going to be define the that is descriptions or the job descriptions, what the work has to be carried out. Who will be pay the role of a manager, who will be the executive, who will be the leader, and who will be the how much of number of workers are there in a particular department. So completely everything is going to be describedly stated in a formal organization, and also it going to be give the some rules, that is we are discussed in a planning, one of the type of a planning, that is rules. Rules are going to be helps to reach the organizational goals, that is it's a kinds of principles, is it? So in the same way, so in a systematic framework there will be a rules. The best example here, the authority has to be flow from, that is authority has to flow from a managing director to a manager of a production department. After that, authority is going, then the responsibility is going to be carried out from a manager. Then the works are going to be assigned to our executives, leader and the workers. So whatever the works are going to be taken places are reported to again to a production department, and the production department, that is a manager is going to be responsible to make answer of a questions of a MD. So this is a rules or a relationship or the procedure how the works are asked to be carried out in an organization, and along with that one, who has to communicate to which person. The best example here, if the worker X is suffering from any problems in an organization, first thing he has to communicate to a leader, then the leader has to communicate to executive, then he has to be communicate to our up managers. Like this, from downwards the communication process has to be taken places. These procedures are also going to be clearly defined in formal organization, and along with our relationship, that is a relationship between the one department to another department, or from one manager to executive or executive to a leader. Everything will be clearly defined in formal organization, which are intended to divide and integrate the activities of the organization. So here the formal organization is going to be make the divide of all the activities, and also for what purpose, to make to integrate all the activities which are done from all the workers in an organization. And in formal organization structure, each individual is aware of their responsibility, accountability and authority. So here in every levels, or in every positions or in posters, so each persons will be clearly known about what is their authority or what is their responsibility, and for whom has to then make accountability or answerability. So everything will be clearly defined by following the formal organization. It is designed by the management to accomplish certain objective. This formal organization is going to be designed by the organization itself. Means when we follow the procedures and when we follow the rules and regulations, and when we have a good relationships, it helps to reach the organizational goals. And along with that one, each and every employees in an organization, there should be clearly known about what is their authority or how much of authority they have, and which under which circumstances or certain period, and along with that who are the responsible person and who has to communicate, the accountabilities has to be reported. Like that, everything will be clearly defined in formal organization. So that's why it is called as a systematic, official systematic system. It is called as a official system, that is formal organization. So again I am speaking about this formal organization. The formal organization means that is a formal structure designed and established by the organization for the benefits of a organization. Here we can clearly define about the positions, job descriptions and the procedures, the rules and regulations, the relationships, the principles, and mainly the authority, responsibility and accountability, all are going to be clearly defined in formal organization. So these helps to our workers to carry out their works with more effectively and to achieve the organizational goals. The next one is, then what are the features of formal organization? The first one, it means to achieve objectives specified in the plans. Yes, this framework is going to be framed for the purpose of achieving the organizational objectives or goals. Is the first feature. The second one is, it facilitates interlinking of various departments, levels and people in the organization. It is deliberately designed by the top management. So here, why it is going to be created means, that is interlinking to a departments is to departments, or level to level, or people to people in an organization. So that helps to reach the organizational goals. Along with that one, these frameworks are going to be done from the top level management. So it places more emphasis on work rather than the interpersonal relationship. Yes, obviously here there is no much flexibility in a formal organization, because all the works are asked to be carried out according to the design framework or according to the assigned works. So in the same way, here all the works are going to be only concentrate about the what the works are asked to be carried out in a particular organization. So here in this formal organization, we can see the lack of interpersonal contacts with the person to person, because each persons will be having certain authority, responsibility and accountability. So in that cases, we cannot find the interpersonal connections with the person to person in an organization. It clarifies relationship and helps to know who has to report to whom. Yes, so it going to be clarifies that who has to communicate to which person. The best example, if the works are assigned from the manager, then the works are asked to be answered to a manager. So here the manager have authority to assign the works to executive, leader and the worker. Then the works are asked to be reported to again to a manager. This clear picture can be identifiable in formal organization. So here in the simple words, the formal organization for what purpose is going to be built or framework for the purpose of achieving the plans or the objectives of organization. The second thing is, it is going to be create the good relationships among the organization and going to create provide the link for the departments to department or level to level or person to person. So in these cases and along with that one, this formal organization is going to be framed or designed from the top level management. So here along with that one, here in the formal organization we can see we cannot see the interpersonal connection with the person to person. So here the more importance will be given for work. So in that cases here we cannot identify the interpersonal connection with the person to person. And along with that one, here it going to be clearly defined about that which person has to report to which person, who has to report to whom another. It going to be clearly defined. The next one is advantages of formal organization. The first one, there is no confusion regarding the work is to be done by each individual. Yes. So here in the formal organization, there will be a clear picture about the work, what the works are to be carried out. So here in the formal organization, it is going to be provide the clear picture about what the work has to be carried out from which person. It is going to be clearly defined. The first advantage. The second advantage, unity of command is maintained. Each avoids confusion and conflicts. Yes, unity of command, one of the principle of FOIAs we are discussed in second chapter, that is principles of management. So under that a file principles is 14 principles are there. Under the principles is the unity of command is one of the principle which is suggested by FOIA in an organization. Yes, in the same way, while following or when we see the formal organization in the particular organization, there we can identify the unity of command. The command will be in unity. The unity will be can be seen in a command provided by a manager or the top level. And along with that one, when we provide the unity in a command, so obviously there will reduces the conflicts between person to person and along with a confusion to workers. It is going to be clearly defined. So that is our formal organization advantages. The next one, it helps in achieving of goals by emphasizing systematic working. Yes. So here all the works can be carried out or can be work in process. So which way we will be needed. But by carrying out the works we has to follow the discipline in an organization, or when we has to follow the structure which has been provided by the top level management. This formal organization helps to workers to follow certain procedure while carrying a works. The next one, it makes fixation of responsibility clear and easier. Yes. So here the formal organization is going to be clearly defined, that is authority, responsibility and accountability, and along with that one it going to be defined the responsibility, that is going to be clearly, and the responsibility will be clearly identifiable, and along with in easier manner the work can be carried out. So it provides stability of the organization. Yes, when we follow the formal organization, it going to be provide the stable in and working process, and along with stable we can be growth, and along with that the profit can be maximized. So these are the advantages of formal organization. So the next one is disadvantages of formal organization. The first one, it may lead to produce a delay and delayed decisions making due to a strength rules and policies. Yes. So here in the formal organization completely we can say that there will be a lot of rules and regulations, or the procedure has to be followed even to taking a small decision making. So in these cases, so there will be a delay in decision making processes. So that's case the first one, disadvantages. The second one, creativity gets reduces as it does not allow any deviations from the rightly laid down policies. Yes. So because why it is going to be reduced, the creativity means these frameworks are going to be done from the top level. So here we cannot modify or we cannot make any corrections in those frameworks. So those the structure. So that cases here we cannot identify the creativity. The next one, it does not fulfill social needs of employees as the emphasis is work at all times. Yes. So here in the formal organization it is not going to be bothered about the workers social needs ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇದು concentration ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, because it completely going to be give a preferences for only the work, that is the work has to be carried out at a proper time, and the work has to be done or output has to be provided at a particular time. There will be time period will be fixed. So that is another one disadvantages. Yes. So here again I am speaking about a formal organization, that is advantages and disadvantages. The first advantages means here we can easily identify there is no confusions about the workers, that what the workers work has to be carried out. It will going to be clear, give the clear picture. The second one is the unity of command can be seen. So this reduces the confusion and conflicts among the workers. The next one, it helps to reach the achieving the organizational goals by following a systematic official framework to carry out the such works. The next one, it makes fixations of, it going to be helps to fix the responsibilities of workers by clearly and easily. The next one, it also provides the stability of organization. The stableness can be identifiable while in following a formal organization. The next one, disadvantages means here the whatever it may leads to a delay decision making process, because a framework or the formal organizations are going to be designed or set up by a top level management. So in these cases, so there are going to be the rules and regulations will be more. So in that cases the delay in taking of decision making in an organization, and along with that one we cannot see the more creativity in formal organization. Why means here the top level is asked to going to be set the organizational, that is formal organization frameworks are going to be set or framed by a top level. So they are not going to involve any persons in while making a formal organization pattern. So in that case, the creativity is going to be, the ideas is going to be again and again, the same ideas are going to be repeated, but there is no creativity. So that is another one disadvantages. Along with that one, then the formal organization is going to give a more importance for works not for the social needs of employees. They are not going to bother about the workers' problems or the workers' social needs of workers. Just they need a result of what the works are has to be carried out. This is the topic related to a formal organization. The formal organization is nothing but that is when it is a formal structure designed and established to by systematic working and efficient utilizations of resources. So, ಏನು works na utilize efficient ಆಗಿ carry out ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ for the uses of propping of utilizations of our resources. So, this formal organization is going to be set from our top level management. So, these are the this is topic related to a formal organization. The next one is that is informal organization. It is a direct opposite to a formal organization. So let me know about the meaning first. Interactions among people at work gives rises to a network of social relationships among the employees. This is called informal organization. So here it is direct opposite to a formal organization. Informal organization. So here informal organization means interaction among people at working gives rises to a network of social relationship among employees. Means here best example the working places, that is a manager. The next one production department. Production department. So under the production department there will be workers. So same way here finance department. While working in an organization, that each employees can, that is interruptions or interpersonal relationship, that is interactions can be taken places. That is our production department workers can easily communicate to a finance department manager, or the finance department manager can easily contact or easily can communicate to a workers. Like that one, there is no restrictions of making a communication. That is in a give a arises of network of social relationship. Here in an informal organization we can see that is a social relationship, that is interactions from employee to an employee in the informal organization. But in a formal organization, that is a production department worker has to be communicate only to a production department manager. Those the finance department manager has to communicate to a finance workers. So like that we had the some certain systematic frameworks have been designed. But in an informal organization, that a production department workers can easily interact with the finance department, and the finance department workers can directly interact to a marketing department. It going to be create the social networks in a working places among the workers to workers. This is called as a informal organization. So in another simple words, so informal organization does not have a formal structure of communication or formal structure of description about job or the rules and regulations or procedures or which one methods. So these are not going to be clearly defined in the informal organization. But in a formal organization, everything are going to be clearly defined. Yes. Through frequent interactions and communication, people tend to form a social friendly group to satisfy their social needs. Yes. So in the informal organization, they used to give a preferences for a social needs of our employees. Yes. When they are going to make a interactions with one or another people, one or another employees, so obviously they are going to be create the social environment in an organization, and that friendliness helps to reach the social needs of employees. The best example, meeting in a cafeteria, drama groups in an organization, and cricket team of organizational personnel are all example of informal organization. So here each person can communicate and each person can create a friendly nature in an organization. That is by meeting in a cafeteria ದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರೇ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಔಟ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ಸೊ they can provide the entertainment of drama groups can be created. So these are the examples for which one interactions or communications between the in the informal organization. The next one, according to Chester Drummond, so an informal organization is an aggregate of interpersonal relationships without any conscious purpose, but which may contribute to joint result. Yes. So here each person, so according to the Chester is going to be says that one, it is a aggregate of interpersonal relationship. It is they are going to create the interpersonal relationship without any conscious purpose. Means there is no purpose of making a communication. That is freely they are going to communicate with other person in an organization, but which may contribute to joint result. Means these are interactions between each other persons. These are results. That is this communication can result in a joint result can be provided. So in a formal organization, so what the works are going to be carried out just for achieving the organizational goals. But in an informal organization, we can see that one, along with completions of a work, that is employees' social needs, along with that, by making an interaction with another person, easily they can reach the organizational goals by effective and efficiency manner. And according to Heath and Dave's, informal organization is a network of personal and social relations, not established or required by a formal organization, but arising spontaneously as people associated with one another. So here he is going to simple about informal organization. It is informal organization in the network of a person, means the network of a worker to worker, and social relations not established or required by a formal organization. To communicate to one or another person, there is no need of a formal organization or formal structure. No, it does not needed to make a communication in the organization, but it is going to be spontaneously is going to be arises, so that associated with one another. Means here to communicate to another person, so there is no need of any requirement not yet needed in an informal organization. So they can easily communicate to without any reasons or without any requirements. They can easily create the interpersonal relationship with one or another person. This is the that is informal organization. Informal organization means here we cannot identify the structure like a formal organization. So everything will be informal. That is easily the workers can communicate to other department, or the worker can directly communicate to a manager or the managing director. So here they are not going to be follow certain rules, because in an informal organization there is no certain rules and and regulations are not going to be framed for our workers to carry out the works. This is the meaning and definition of a informal organization. So it is very important in the way for your examination, that is a definition. The next one, features of informal organization. It originates from within the formal organization due to interactions among the employees. Yes, it is the part of informal organization, but it comes from the that is another way, that is informal organization. So these steps can be called as a formal organization of communication, but it has taken the other view of pointers, means that is another one feature of informal organization. The standard of behavior evolves from group norms. Yes, is going to be, that is a standard of behavior is going to be differ from person to person. Communication is free and independent. Yes, easily they can communicate to which person they are needed and when they are needed. It emphasizes spontaneously and not created deliberately. Yes, so spontaneously they can communicate to any other person. So it is the communication or interpersonal connections are going to be created spontaneously, not by deliberately. It has not defined structure or a form. Yes, for the informal organization there is no structure like a formal organization. It is indefined structure. So in the formal organization we cannot find the structure like a formal organization. So these are the features of informal organization. The next one, advantages of informal organization. The first one, prescribed line of communication are not followed. Thus, it facilitates quick feedback and spread information faster. Yes. So here there is no a pattern or a structure of communication or a structure of orders or a structure of responsibility and accountability. So here easily we can be see the, if it is the feedback can be easily collected and informations can be spread from so faster than the formal organization. So it provides a sense of belongingness and gives due respect to social and psychological needs. Yes, in an informal organization they used to give preferences for which one? Social needs, because they used to create the interpersonal relationship, that is communication is going to be built. So in that cases, so here the belongingness and give the respect to social and psychological values of our employees in an organization. So it provides the necessary environment for individual creativity and innovation. Yes, in the informal organization, that is each and every employees are going to be make a participations in a decision making process. When they are make a participation in decision making process, the alternative ideas can be seen in a certain situations, or innovative ideas can be seen in an informal organization. And it provides, and along with that one, it going to be provide the good environmental facilities to workers to carry out the works is more comfortably by satisfying their social needs. So it contributes to fulfillment of goals, promoting the feelings of cooperations among employees. Yes, so it along with that one, so it going to be contribute towards a fulfillment of individual goals along with the organizational goals. Yes, and along with that one, it used to give the preferences for feelings and cooperations of employees in the informal organization. The next one, disadvantages of informal organization. Informal organization structure spreads rumors. Yes. So here the rumors can easily be spread. So informal organizations ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ rumors ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೇಮ್ ಇದೆ. But formal organization ಗೆ official systems manner official system ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. But informal organization is going to be called it as spreads of rumors. Rumors can easily can be spread, that is so faster than the in the formal structure. So it opposes the policies and changes of management. Yes. So here our informal organization, it is not going to be follow the rules and regulations. So in the same way, it is going to be oppose the policies of a management. Along with that one, it opposes to make a changes of management in the organization. It generally prefers status quo and executing work routine. Yes. So it used to be ceased to carry out the routine works, which are the works are has to be going to be carried out in an organization. So they are not going to give a preferences for other ways of works in a particular work field. So it gives importance to individual interest as compared to organizational interest. Yes. So here first they used to give the preferences for social needs, social interest. After that they used to be give the preferences for organizational interest. So that is the another one disadvantages. Means first they has to give the preferences for our employees. After that they has to give the preferences for organizational goals. So it pressurizes members to conform to group execution. So it going to be give the preferences for only for the employees to carry out the works. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of a informal organization. So again I am speaking about informal organization. Informal organization means here we can see that is it is gives the arises of network of social relationship among the employees. Employees madhe it going to be create, that is interactions among the people. It going to helps to make helps to arises of a social networks in an organization. That is called as a informal organization. So it is also, but here in the informal organization, so there we cannot find the formal structure of a working condition. There will be easily, the communication can be easily flow from any person to any person. In the same way the orders can be given, the commands can be given. The unity of command cannot be seen in an informal organization. Even the directions are also going to be given from any one person in an organization. That is informal organization. So the next is features of informal organization. It gives the, so here in the informal organization we cannot find the structure like a formal organization, and along with that one it going to give the importance for behavioral norms of employees, and it going to be there will be freeness for a communication. That is a communication can easily communicated with any other person without following any rules and regulations. And along with that one, so here spontaneously they can communicate to any other person, and along with that one, so here it is not going to be frame any structure in the informal organization. The next one, advantages. Advantages means here when the communications are easily can be communicated, so the information can also be easily spread over in a so faster in an organization. And along with that one, so here they used to give a preferences for a social needs of employees. After that they used to give the preferences for organizational goals. Or first they used to give the respect to a social and psychological needs of employees. The next one, it provides the necessary good environment for a working condition in an organization to work employees in a more enthusiastically and in a satisfied manner. So for the next one, it also going to be fulfill the personal goals of employees first. So that is, these are the advantages of formal informal organization. The next one, disadvantages means here more than the information, the rumors are going to be spread so faster than the information. The first disadvantage. Second one is they used to oppose the policies and procedures, and along with the change of managers are also going to be opposed to make changes in the policy and the management. The next one, it going to be give the a routine of a work. So here when we make a routine of in working process, so we cannot find the expertise or specialized person in a particular work, because the completely each and every persons are going to be routine from one department to another department, and or one department employee will move on to another department. So that cases, so we cannot find the expertise in working places or working process. Another one, disadvantages. So along with that one, it going to give the more importance is for individual interest of employees rather than the organizational interest. These are the advantages and disadvantages of informal organization. The next is, that is differences between formal organization and informal organization. It's a very important according to your view of your examination. That is, on the basis of meaning, first we are going to make a differentiation. That is, in the formal organization, it refers to the structure of well-defined authority and responsibility relationship. Yes. So here the formal organization, we can see the structure, that is well-defined, authority will be defined, the responsibility and the relationships are going to be well defined in the formal organization. But in the informal organization, it refers to the personal relationships which develops automatically when people work together. So here the relationships are going to be developed when the works are going to be carried out. That is in informal organization. In the simple way, so they are not going to be in the informal organization. We cannot find the structure like a formal organization. They are not going to be well defined about the authority, responsibility and the relationships are not going to be well defined in informal organization. The next one, purpose. On the basis of purpose, it is created to achieve predetermined objective. Means that is the plans are going to be achieved from the formal organization. But in the informal organization, it has no predetermined objective. So in the informal organization, they are not going to be follow the objectives, or the plans are not going to be framed in the informal organization. The next one, on the basis of origin, it is planned and created deliberately. That is according to a structure or according to a plan date. So the works are going to be carried out in a formal organization. But in the informal organization, it is unplanned and originates automatically. So this is are going to be automatically, the plans are going to be framed and automatically works are going to be carried out. So that is informal organization. But in a formal organization, everything are going to be clearly defined. The next one, on the basis of structure, the structure is well defined and has authority and task. Yes. So here according to structure, that is the authority and task, everything is going to be defined. But in an informal organization, there is no clear-cut structure, as the emphasis is on people and relationships. That is clearly the works the tasks are going to be dependent on the people, that is in an organization. We cannot identify a clear-cut structure in the informal organization. The next one, flow of authority. Authority flow from top to bottom or vertical downwards. But in an informal organization, authority flows vertically as well as horizontally. Yes. But formal organization, that is vertically the authority is going to be framed. Along with that one, in an informal organization, the authority is going to be from along with the vertical and horizontal. So these are the differences between a formal and informal organization. Again, communication. Yes, the next one is communication. It flows the official chain of command which cannot be changed. Communication has to follow formal channels. So here in the communication, so how the communication has to be followed and how the communication has to be made, it will be clearly defined in the formal organization. But in the informal organization does not have any official chain of command. So there is no fixed pattern of communication. Yes, so I already told that in an informal organization the unity of command can be seen. But in an informal organization, we cannot find the unity of command. Along with that one, we cannot find a fixed chain of a communication cannot be found because that is simultaneously or the interactions can be taken places from any one person to any other person in an organization. That is informal organization. The next one, according to on the basis of leadership, managers provide leadership to our workers of their departments. Yes, obviously. So, in the informal or formal organization, the leaderships are going to be provided by managers. That is by seeing their duties or responsibility or thereby the efficiency of our works, the leaderships is going to be provided. But in an informal organization, informal leaders are chosen by the group members. Yes. So here among the group members, the leader are going to be selected. There is no involvement of a manager. But in an formal organization, the manager is going to set the leader. But in the informal organization, the worker sets the leader. So that is the difference between formal and informal. The next one, on the basis of flexibility, it follows a rigid structure. So it is a systematic format. There is no modification in the structure. But in an informal organization, it is highly flexible and has not rigid structure. So it can be framed like anything. That is by framing like this, or anyone can communicate to any other person like this, or so it may be anything. So ಹೇಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ಇರಬಹುದು. That is informal organization. So there is no that is a completely flexibility will be provided in the informal organization. But in the formal organization, it is completely rigid structure. That is, rigid is nothing but a strict or stiff. The next one, stability. They are usually stable. So in the formal organization, we cannot find a routine in the workers. It is completely stable in the nature. But in an informal organization, usually they do not last so long. Yes, so they used to not to be stay so longer in a particular works. They keeps on rotating from one department to another department or one position to another positions in the informal organization. The next one, on the basis of relationship, the relationship of a people is impersonal. Yes, so because here there is no chances of making a interpersonal communication with one department to another department or one worker to another works. But in an informal organization, the relationships of a people is interpersonal. So here the relationships can be seen that is interpersonal because they can easily communicate to any other person, say with any other person, any other departments in the organization because of a flexibility. These are the differences between formal and informal organization. So again I am explaining about formal differences between these two. On the basis of meaning, it is a structure of well defined. That is what they are going to be defined. Authority and responsibility and relationships are going to be defined. The next one, in the informal organization, so it is going to be here we cannot identify the defined authority and responsibility because the relationships are going to be built automatically in working together. Working ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ automatically build ಆಗುವಂತದ್ದು ಯಾವುದು, that is our relationship. So that is according to one meaning. And according to one purpose, it is created for the purpose of achieving the goals. That is formal organization because the formal organizations are framed by our top level management. So there will be certain plans are there, certain objectives are there. So on the basis of certain plans and objectives, the formal organizations are going to be framed. But in the informal organization, so it is going to be framed by a workers itself in the organization. So that's why they used to not to be follow any predetermined plans that cannot be identifiable in the informal organization. The next one, virgin. On the basis of virgin, it is planned and created deliberately. Yes. So it is planned agi create, that is who has to communicate to which person, that is authority, that who is the authoritative person, that is who is the responsible person, and who has to report, that is who is the accountable person. So everything will going to be neatly or clearly deliberated. But in an informal organization, that is it is unplanned. There is no plan at all in the informal organization. But the plans are going to be taken places automatically in the working nature. That is the differences between these two on the basis of virgin. The next one, on the basis of structure, it is well defined and as an authority and task. Yes. Formal organization means well defined. According to one structure, the authority and how the authority will be flowed and what the work has to be carried. It is going to be clearly defined. But in the informal organization, so there is no clear-cut structure in the informal organization. So here, so it is going to be depends on the peoples and their relationships. And next one, on the basis of flow of authority will going to be flow from top to bottom. That is a managing director to a department to a workers. This is where a top to bottom the authority is going to be followed on a vertical words. But in an informal organization, the authority is going to be followed from, that is as a vertical movements or the horizontal movements can easily be identifiable in the formal and informal organization. The next one, on the basis of communication, that is here there will be an official chain of communication will be framed in the formal organization. But in the informal organization, there is no official chain of a communication because it is created by interpersonal relationship. Next one, leadership. Yes, the leaders are going to be selected by the departmental managers in the formal organization. But in the informal organization, the leaders are going to be selected by a group members. That is by the differences between these two. Here the leaders are going to be selected and appointed by manager by seeing his efficiency and working nature. Everything are going to be taken into consideration. But in the informal organization, the leaders are going to be selected by the group members. Group members are going to be selected by their own relationships irbodu, the communications irbodu, athwa avara ondu suggestions way irbodu, whatever it may be. By that view of points is the peoples are going, that is the group members are going to select the leader in the informal organization. The next one, flexibility. On the basis of flexibility, the formal organization will be completely rigid structure because it has to follow the structure framework from the top level management. But in the informal organization, it is completely flexible. Means that is each person can communicate to any one person or any manager can operate the any other because of a routine works in the working places. In these cases, we cannot identify the rigid structure. The next one, on the basis of stability, here in the formal organization, so we cannot identify the routine of employees. So here there will be stable, the stableness will be more. But in an informal organization, they used to prefer the routine in the working or routine in the jobs. So in that cases, we cannot identify the stableness in the organization. So along with the next one is relationship. On the basis of relationship, That is, in the formal organization you can see the impersonal relationship, because they are used to be communicate according to a structure, and that is there is a more rigidity. There is, we cannot identify the flexible of communication. But in an informal organization, that is interpersonal. So we can see the flexibility in a working nature and routine in the working nature. In that cases, the communication is going to be, or the in relationships will be interpersonal. So these are the differences between formal and informal organization differences. Next topic is, that is delegation. Yes. What is delegation? Delegation is the process of transferring authority from superior to his subordinates. It is essential for smooth functioning of a business, because any manager, no matter how capable is cannot perform all the functions on his own. So thus authority has to follow top to bottom, that is superior to his subordinates. So here delegation is nothing but, that is a transferring of, it's a process of transferring of, that is the authority from superior to a subordinates.